Slow motion footage of US Supreme Court building, protesters on steps, voting lines, and headlines flashing. SCOTUS rules on voting accuracy. Decision shapes state laws, election laws under new security. A major ruling from the US Supreme Court is spending shockwaves through America's electoral system. In a closely watched case, the court has issued a decision that could significantly reshape how states regulate voting, especially in the key battlegrounds ahead of the 2024 election. Voting rights case Mori versus Harper or relevant case named based on contest. At the heart of the case, the limits of state power in setting election rules. The court rejected a controversial legal theory, the so-called independent state legislation doctrine, which argued that the state legislature alone should control federal election laws without checks from state courts. A slipped screen showing state capitol building versus state supreme courts. The ruling affirms that state courts can review election laws and district maps even when passed by legislatures. It's a major win for voting rights advocates who feared unchecked gerrymandering and voter suppression. Supreme Court Justice reading part of a majority opinion. Justice said that the Constitution does not vest exclusive authority in state legislatures. Judicially review is a necessary safeguard to protect democratic principles. Map highlighting battleground states Georgia, Arizona, Wisconsin, North Carolina, Pennsylvania. The impact will be felt immediately in several battleground states where courts have challenged aggressively districting and voting restriction. The ruling preserves a legal pathway for voters and civil rights groups to contest laws they see as discriminatory or anti-democratic. Interviews with legal scholars and civil rights leaders. Legal experts say that this is a victory for balance. It means state courts can continue to act as a check on partisan lawmakers who try to tilt the system in their favor. Civil rights leaders say that this decision helps protect the right to vote, especially for communities of color, young voters, and the elderly. Voters casting ballots, mail-in voting, and election officials at work. With the 2024 presidential election looming, the ruling could influence how districts are drawn, how mail-in ballots are corrupted, and how voter ID laws are challenged, all of which affected turnout and representation. Response from conservative lawmakers and election officials. Some conservative lawmakers criticize the decision, arguing that it's opened the door of judicial overreach and undermines the role of elected legislatures. GOP lawmakers say that this takes power away from the people's representatives and gives it to unelected judges. That's a dangerous precedent. Timeline of major voting rights ruling 2013, Shelby versus Holder 2022, restricting battles current case. The Colors decision adds a new chapter to a decade-long legal battle over voting rights. Since the landmaker Shelby versus Holder case in 2013 weakened federal oversight, voting protection have increasingly come down to state-by-state affairs. Voters in lines, courthouse doors closing, campaign ads in battleground states. What trust in the electoral system under strain and voter access a central issue. The Supreme Court latest ruling enforces the role of courts, not just lawmakers, in protecting democracy. Will it be enough to ensure their fair election in 2024 and beyond? For more on US democracy, Supreme Court's decisions and elections news, follow and subscribe.